I'm a fan of many artists. In general, I listen various kind of music and looking for an inspiration sometimes, and sometimes just for fun and for reasons to relax. But I encountered with Annie Lennox interview some time ago in internet, and I was reading about her telling about shadow self, about a darker side of us all. Everybody, every one of us, we have a darker side that we should probably just appreciate that it exists. But especially we artists, we get a lot of inspiration from our darker side. Many writers or artists in general, they write darker songs or they use it somehow without probably even understanding where all that darkness comes from. Since many years I've realized that I have a darker side in me, even though I still believe I'm a very positive person. But still there is this darkness that makes me write music and create in general. And it affects in everything that I do. I believe it's a beautiful darkness. And so I found this interview of Annie, and it was very inspiring. She was just shortly telling about our darker side, calling it as a shadow self, and I said, what a great title for an album. I really felt like that's it. That's my album title. That is where everything comes from. Actually, even before I decided to call my album as The Shadow Self, I was having a working title for it as Black. It was just black. This was the first time ever in my career that I didn't have the title. Since the beginning I started writing songs for the album. I had always the title in my mind already since the start, but now it was very different, and I was kind of struggling with the idea of how to call my album, but the overall idea or the color in my mind was that it has to be black. It's again about this darkness. I didn't want to call it darkness, so it was just the purity of black. And of course I had Metallica and AC/DC, two amazing bands, having their albums called as Black, so of course I knew that eventually I won't end up calling or naming my album as Black, but it was difficult to find a perfect title for it. Until came the Shadow Self interview of Annie Lennox that inspired me. It was interesting. After Black, it was also a void, like something so deep and dark and perhaps even mysterious. And it's like here we are here in Finland. It's a frozen lake. Everything is frozen, and there is a hole. We in Finland we call it avanto. It would be like a black hole that to jump in. Of course, I would know what to find there, but in my void, I had just everything there for me, but still mysterious and unknown world there for me. All the songs on the album, they basically they are linked with the idea of the void or the shadow self or the darkness in us. Even though I have taken subjects that are talking about nature or even very personal subjects, but still more or less every one of us, we could find somewhere connection with our emotions in these songs, because all of us, we have that darkness in us. Perhaps many of us, we just don't know why we act differently in certain situations. To understand those kind of feelings is, of course, like a journey that you should do inside of you. I haven't done that journey. I think that I'm still far away of doing those kind of things within myself, but as an artist I have started to understand that there is this dark side of me, and that is the creative part of me. Shadow self is a creative force in all of us.